At a wedding celebrating love, a false accusation of theft against Marcus Hale, a distinguished black guest, exposed deep-seated racism. His poised yet powerful response shocked a community and shattered reputations. What happened next was unforgettable. But let's start from the beginning. The countryside estate glistened under the warm glow of string lights and chandeliers, a picture-perfect backdrop for Matt and Emma's wedding. The air was filled with laughter and the clinking of champagne glasses as elegantly dressed guests mingled across the sprawling lawn. The venue was a testament to the couple's affluence, with floral arrangements spilling over tables and a live string quartet setting the tone of luxury. Matt, the groom, was in his element, moving confidently through the crowd in his crisp black tuxedo, shaking hands and exchanging pleasantries. Emma, radiant in her lace gown, greeted guests with warmth, her arm looped around his. Among the sea of familiar faces stood Marcus, a tall black man with a commanding presence. His tailored charcoal suit fit him impeccably, and a gleaming luxury watch adorned his wrist. Invited by Sarah, Emma's lifelong friend, Marcus drew attention not for his charm, but for the color of his skin in this predominantly white gathering. His calm demeanor and polite interactions clashed with the quiet stares and hushed whispers that followed him. As the evening wore on, the festivities reached their peak. Guests danced, toasted, and reveled in the joy of the occasion. Then, Aunt Linda, known for her dramatic flair, gasped loudly from the head table. "My bracelet! It's gone!" she exclaimed, clutching her wrist in panic. Her diamond bracelet, a family heirloom, was missing, and the joyous atmosphere turned tense. Matt took charge, his lawyerly instincts kicking in. He glanced around, his gaze landing on Marcus. "He's been acting shady all evening," Matt announced, loud enough for the murmuring crowd to fall silent. The accusation, pointed and baseless, hung heavy in the air. Sarah immediately stepped forward, her voice firm. "Marcus is my guest. He's done nothing wrong." But Matt, driven by ego and pressure, dismissed her protests. "If he has nothing to hide, he won't mind a search," Matt declared, calling over security. The scene unfolded under the watchful eyes of the guests, many uneasy, but none intervening. Marcus stood tall, his composure unbroken, though the humiliation was undeniable. The estate's once festive atmosphere had turned eerily quiet, the laughter and music replaced by tense whispers and anxious stares. Under the glare of the garden's string lights, Marcus stood perfectly still, his head held high and his gaze steady. The accusation hung heavy in the air, but his composure didn't falter. He adjusted his cufflink and calmly asked, "You really want to do this here now?" Matt, his face flushed with a mix of embarrassment and determination, refused to relent. The eyes of the crowd bore down on him, and his pride demanded he double down. "If you're innocent, you have nothing to hide," Matt snapped, his voice ringing louder than necessary, as though trying to convince both himself and everyone else. Emma, standing a few feet away, stepped forward, desperation in her voice. "Matt, stop this. This isn't right." But her words fell on deaf ears. Fueled by the need to assert control over the situation, Matt motioned for security. Two burly guards approached, their presence amplifying the weight of the moment. Marcus sighed, shaking his head slightly. "Do what you have to do," he said, his tone measured. As the guards began their search, the crowd watched in uncomfortable silence, some looking away, while others leaned in to see every detail. Marcus emptied his pockets one by one. A wallet, a phone, a handkerchief. The guards patted down his blazer and pants, their hands moving methodically. Each passing second heightened the tension. When the search was complete, the guards stepped back, exchanging uncertain glances. "There's nothing," one of them confirmed. Marcus straightened his jacket and looked directly at Matt. "I told you, I didn't take it," he said, his voice calm but firm, carrying an undeniable dignity. The crowd began murmuring, shifting uneasily. Sarah pushed forward, her face flushed with anger. "You owe him an apology, Matt. This was completely uncalled for." Her voice cut through the discomfort like a blade. Marcus glanced at Sarah, a flicker of gratitude in his eyes, but turned to Matt. "I don't think I'll stay where I'm not respected," he said coolly. Without another word, he walked away, leaving behind an audience grappling with their own unease and guilt. The gravel crunches under Marcus's polished shoes as he strides toward the parking lot, his back straight, his head high. Behind him, Sarah catches up, her heels clicking in a frantic rhythm. "Marcus, wait!" she calls, her voice tinged with guilt and anger. He pauses, turning to face her with the same composed expression he'd worn throughout the humiliating ordeal. "I'm so sorry," Sarah begins, her words rushing out. "You didn't deserve any of that. Matt was completely out of line, and I tried." Marcus raises a hand, his calm demeanor softening her frantic apology. "Sarah," he says, his tone steady, "it's not the first time I've been judged by how I look, and it won't be the last." A small, almost weary smile touches his lips. "But I appreciate you standing up for me." She shakes her head, visibly upset. "It's not enough," she replies, her voice breaking. Marcus places a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "It's more than most would do," he says. "You're a good friend, Sarah." Back at the wedding, the tension simmers as Aunt Linda rummages through her bejeweled clutch and suddenly gasps. "Oh, for heaven's sake, here it is," she exclaims, pulling out her missing bracelet. The crowd turns to stare as her words ripple through the guests. "It must have slipped in when I wasn't looking," Linda adds, her laughter grating against the uneasy silence. Emma's face darkens as she rounds on Matt. "Are you serious right now?" she snaps, her voice low but cutting. "You humiliated Marcus in front of everyone. For nothing. Do you realize what you've done?" Matt stammers, his confidence shattered. The crowd buzzes with awkward murmurs, many guests casting him disapproving glances. Meanwhile, Marcus pulls out of the estate in a sleek black car, its engine humming smoothly. The city lights gleam ahead as he drives to an imposing downtown skyscraper. He parks and steps into the gleaming lobby, heading for the elevator. Moments later, the doors open to a spacious executive office. On the glass door, his name shines in bold letters: Marcus Hale, CEO. Sitting at his desk, Marcus picks up a call, his voice calm but decisive. "Let's move forward with the expansion," he says. As he speaks, his gaze sharpens, a man focused on bigger things than petty prejudices. The morning sun casts a golden glow over the city skyline, but for Matt Walker, the day begins under a storm of headlines. Every news outlet and social media platform features the same explosive story. City's top CEO faces racism at high-profile wedding. The accompanying footage, captured on shaky smartphones, shows the confrontation in excruciating detail. Marcus standing tall, while Matt's accusations echo across the elegant venue. The video quickly goes viral, sparking outrage and heated debates online. In the hours that follow, Matt's law firm becomes a target of public backlash. Long-standing clients withdraw contracts, their parting emails citing ethical concerns. The firm's reputation, meticulously built over decades, crumbles under the weight of one man's rash decision. Meanwhile, Marcus's response to the ordeal, a brief but poignant statement shared on social media, captures the world's attention. This wasn't about a bracelet. It was about assumptions. This is why we still have work to do. The post garners millions of likes, shares, and comments, with support pouring in from all corners. Marcus is hailed as a symbol of resilience and dignity in the face of prejudice. Racked with guilt and desperate to salvage his reputation, Matt reaches out to Marcus, requesting a meeting. When they meet in Marcus's expansive downtown office, Matt looks visibly humbled. "I want to apologize," he begins, his voice heavy with regret. "I made a terrible mistake, and I need to make it right." Marcus listens intently, but remains composed. "Apologies are easy, Mr. Walker," he replies, his tone measured. "Change is not. It's not enough to feel sorry. It's about what you do next." Without waiting for a response, Marcus stands, signaling the meeting's end. "Good luck," he adds before walking out, leaving Matt to confront the consequences of his actions. As the dust settles, Emma begins to reevaluate her relationship with Matt, questioning his character and their future together. Sarah, emboldened by the events, vows to speak out against bias wherever she encounters it. Marcus, however, continues to rise. At another high-profile event weeks later, he commands the room with quiet strength and grace. Guests approach him with admiration, inspired by his unshakable integrity. His triumph serves as a powerful reminder. Dignity and resilience have the power to dismantle even the deepest prejudices.